So I thought I was going to be done making TPER-S customs, but this was the only new stock blaster I had on hand. And so I wanted to do something with it because I was bored. So I went ahead and did some crazy stuff to it. So we're going to talk about what I did here. I'm going to show you all the different things I did. And of course, what I plan on doing is just one big giveaway, kind of like a Christmas giveaway, sometime at the beginning of December. And that'll kind of count for November and December because it'll be extra big giveaway. So this might be included. I don't know. It's just going to depend what I can put together. But this certainly could be part of it. So anyway, we got from EMERBU, we got the Lahui TPER-S, which for under $30 is by far the best blaster you can buy out there. You got a motorized mag feed blaster, 160 FPS, under $30. It's an awesome kind of pistol style gel ball blaster toy. But if you look at some of the other sites, you can see some of the variations Lahui has made of this specific blaster. And I kind of did some similar things here, but really just customized this one out a lot and then put a lot of options with it too, right? So I have a ton of parts and pieces around, and I always try to use those when I can, thinking that it's going to save me a bunch of 3D printing. And it does save me some, but I always end up printing more stuff anyway. But I have, a lot of M4 Gen 8, M4A1 handguards, Gen 8, M4A1 stocks. And I thought, well, maybe I can figure out a way to utilize those with the Lahui TPER-S from EMERBU Toys. And that's what I kind of did here, right? So got basically a very kind of futuristic, safe color, blaster here that has the ability to interchange handguards. We'll go ahead and we'll show you all of that here in a moment. So let's check it out. All right, so obviously did some painting here, did some custom work. Really, I built this, or I modified and designed this attachment to be able to put a buffer tube on here. I've done that in the past, but this one is actually, like a buffer tube where we can remove the stock and put a different stock on there. This actually is a Gen 8 M4A1 stock that's been cut and then been able to, been attached here, as you can see, with just a bolt that goes through and a heat insert, or actually in this case a rivet nut. Okay, and then I of course built up this rail here so that we could have that going on, and it attaches through right here where there's a little sight section, and then there's actually a bolt that goes down through. So I did a lot of there's some bolts that go down through, and did some plates that I made on the inside, and then it allowed me to put heat inserts or rivet nuts in there so that we could bolt down these rails, right, and just give everything more stability. That was kind of the goal here. And actually inside this piece is the metal little kind of piece that you see on the TPER-S on the stock version, and that just again gives it a lot more stability and everything. Now, because I did some of these different inside inserts and stuff, we lost the semi-automatic. So in this case, we just have safety and automatic. But if I'm going to give up something, I'd give up semi-automatic, and that's what I did here. You can always just pull the trigger just let go if you kind of want that semi-automatic style. All right, so let's check it out a little more. Went ahead and I custom printed the rails so that all the rails match, and then these rails actually go in through here and connect to this piece. And there's a couple reasons for that. That's so that when we turn this and take the stock off, or take the handguard off, it just really gives more stability, and more strength here. So this is basically cut off from a Gen 8 M4A1, fused to this piece here, and then that allows us to put multiple stocks on here. So we have this one, right? But then you also have the ability to put other ones. So here is another one I put together that can go on there as well. So these will still turn on there just like they're supposed to. So in this case, this one has a little laser on it, and this one has, this is just kind of pressure fitted on this fake suppressor, whereas the fake suppressor on this one does have a little heat insert and a nut included that holds it down. And then there's a couple different options. Like you could go to this one here that's a bright blue one, and you could go ahead and use that instead. And then there's a couple others over there. And those all, you would just go ahead and use a little, nut or screw like this to hold down. All right, so because we lost the blowback and the semi-automatic, this is just kind of for decoration here, right? And then you can see some of the other decorative stuff. Now, one thing I really wanted to do that I thought was cool was I had some of those LED strips in here. So sometimes some sellers who have foam dart blasters send me foam dart blasters. I do not want them. I have no interest in foam dart blasters, but I've worked with them on other gel blasters, and I'm too nice, and I go ahead and I make some videos for them to put on Amazon. And anyway, those LED strips that sometimes come in those blasters, I figure out ways to reuse them. So you might have seen the ARP9 pistol style blaster I put together where there's some LEDs. Same thing here. So what I did too is, because I want you to be able to switch out the handguard to other handguards, there is a battery in here. So this just turns and pulls off, and you can replace and charge the battery. And actually there's a little switch right here. And then if you can see that right there, you can see your lights are lighting up. So we got two LED strips on the top and the bottom in there. There's your switch. Battery is in here. This is, runs separately on its own battery. And again, that's for a couple reasons. So we can switch out the handguard, and so that I didn't have to run wires through here. And so if this wasn't running constantly, you can just go ahead, switch it on and off when you want to use it. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea. So there you go. It is the newest custom EMERBU TPER-S, which actually is made by LaHui. I also made a different stock that we could go on there. So this is more of that kind of rifle style stock. So this would just slide on there, and then you'd use this to screw it down. So this is actually probably too long. That was just one I grabbed that I had handy. But this would just go ahead and slide on here. And then you just use, I'd put a different one of these nuts in here that would allow you to go ahead and put that in and screw that down and go with that stock as well. Of course, it's a buffer tube, so you can go with any stock you want. I personally like this M4A1 stock. This is a little nicer one. And then I made this little cheek riser. Again, the panels, and this one just slides on there too. So you got a couple different handguard options, couple different stock options, many different suppressor, fake suppressor options. So really cool. I think if you're into this type of safe style blaster, obviously it's probably geared a little more towards some younger users, but I'm pretty happy with that. Turned out, I think it's pretty sweet. Let me know what you guys think. Put comments below. Any questions, of course, post them. Like, subscribe, share my channel with your friends, and remember to look for those contests where you can win over $300 in custom blasters and accessories. Thanks.